Someday, in the not-so-distant future, it happens. The moment you realize you're ready for anything. Get a degree in emergency management from Jacksonville State University and be ready for where you're going.
This is the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, January 27th. The old Arctic hammer comes down again tonight. We'll be in the deep freeze through midweek and a South Alabama snow event. Ooh, all kind of questions and rumors and crazy things. Let's see if we can narrow it down and get some facts on the board here. So let's go to the big picture this morning. The water vapor satellite image. Sometimes just better to look and see what you got right now instead of staring at computer model output all day. And you can clearly see the magnitude of this trough that will be affecting much of the nation. This is a very cold air mass, but thankfully it's the last in the series. Not the last of the winter, but the last in this series. This will be the third of the three big shots we've had this month. Now, starting off the day, temperatures aren't that bad. Relatively mild. We've got 48 at Birmingham. Montgomery sitting at 52. But the cold air is not here yet. It comes in late this afternoon and tonight. And you can clearly see what's north of us. And the Weather Service in Huntsville issuing a wind chill advisory for the Tennessee Valley for tonight. In fact, up north, all kind of wind chill warnings and advisories in effect. Still got winter storm warnings around Chicago. But the big story, of course, down here, it's the southern snow. We've got winter storm watches really all the way from near Corpus Christi, Texas, through Houston, up into South Louisiana, the southern part of Mississippi, southern part of Alabama, central and south Georgia, and winter storm warnings in effect for northeast South Carolina and the coastal plain of North Carolina. Now, again, I'm doing this update like really early in the morning, like, before 6 o'clock, and the Weather Service offices could be upgrading some of those watches to warnings while I do the video here. So this will probably change this afternoon, but clearly that just kind of shows where the greatest chance of winter weather problems will be from precipitation. This is the chance of getting greater than 1 inch of snow coming from the WPC guys. And this is valid from 6 o'clock Central Time tomorrow morning until 6 o'clock Central Time Wednesday morning. And the probabilities over North Alabama are in the 30% range, but if you go down into South Alabama, they jump up into the 70% bracket. And that's where the better chance of accumulating snow will be. And we're not saying there's no snow for North Alabama. There's going to be some flurries around. But clearly, if you want to see some snow on the ground, go south, young man. All right, a lot of maps to show you. Let's look at the GFS first. This is the 06Z run valid at noon today. You can see energy diving down the backside of the trough. We'll just keep it in the upper levels. This is tomorrow. That energy is approaching, and again, we start to turn cold. We'll go down to the surface tomorrow, and you can see the 540 thickness line goes down to about Montgomery. And we have, with the trough axis still west of the state, we have the overrunning situation. A southwest flow aloft over very cold air at the surface. And that often leads to wintry weather situations, and it will this time. And during the day tomorrow, clearly, there is a chance we're going to see light snow here. And again, I want people to clearly understand we're not saying there's no snow for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden. I do think it snows. But it will be light and of the variety that probably will not accumulate here. If we see anything, it would be probably nothing more than a dusting. But cloudy, cold, some light snow, the high tomorrow, low to mid-30s. And we'll have a pretty good breeze out of the north at 10 to 18 miles an hour. That's going to keep the wind chill index below freezing all day. Now, this is tomorrow night at midnight. In the deeper moisture, the bigger precipitation rates are going to be near the Gulf Coast, down there, below Montgomery. And then this is midday Wednesday, and we're just cold and dry. And, of course, Wednesday morning is going to be cold. The GFS is printing 11 for Birmingham. It's going to be one of those 8 to 13 degree type mornings like we had last week. But, the snow is the big deal. This is the snow depth coming off the GFS. And these maps are going to be valid Wednesday midday. This is Wednesday at noon. And it's got a dusting, that very light gray. That's not any really accumulating snow, just a dusting. And really, it confines the better accumulation down to Mobile and Baldwin counties. In the blue, that's 2 inches. But the GFS has not been very consistent, and it's been somewhat of an outlier. This is the NAM. It's performed pretty well. And again, I think that's a pretty solid grasp on where the better chance of accumulating snow will be. And it's basically the better chance of accumulating snow here along and south of US 80. That's Demopolis to Montgomery to Selma. That matches nicely with ongoing forecast and the winter weather watches. I think the European is doing a good job here. I think this is very realistic. Again, the shades of blue, that's more than 2 inches. And you can see there's some potential maybe for 2.5 inches down around Dothan, in the southeastern corner, and maybe around the city of Mobile, but mostly 1 to 2 inches south of Montgomery. And it tries to bring in a dusting almost up to, Shelby County, which makes a lot of sense. I really like the look of that. And, of course, really the big story is what's happening over there in the Carolinas. I mean, that's a huge, huge snow event for places like Wilmington, Jacksonville. Wow, that is a big. Now, Jacksonville, North Carolina, not Alabama. That's a whopper of a snowstorm. This is a closer look at the European down in South Alabama, and you can see it's printing about 2.6 inches for Dothan, 2.5 inches. Mobile looks like 1.5, little strip of heavier snow just north of Mobile, up around the Delta. Montgomery, almost 1 inch, 0.9. But I really think that's pretty good. One more model to look at. This is the high-res RPM, the Rapid Precision Mesoscale model. You don't see this anywhere except right here because it is proprietary and not freely available. But again, it matches very nicely with the European. It's got the snow accumulation basically south of US 80. And accordingly, we're just not going to change anything. We put this out yesterday morning, and I just don't see a need to change it. A little bit of snow around here, yes. Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, Gadsden, I think you'll see some light snow, but the chance of accumulating snow is very small. Somebody might see a dusting. You go down toward US 80, maybe up to 1 inch. Selma, Montgomery, Auburn, Opelika. But those good 1 to 2 inch snows, higher possibilities down around Dothan and Ozark and Troy and Eufaula, Andalusia, Opp, Geneva. How about that? And again, Mobile could pick up 1 inch. Now, keep in mind, based on the Buffett stuff we've seen, this is going to start as rain and sleet near the Gulf Coast with a changeover to snow tomorrow night. So not all of this is going to come down as snow. So if you're watching us and living near the Gulf Coast, it's going to start wet. You're going to think, uh-oh, it's a bad forecast. But as the Arctic air deepens, there should be a changeover, and there's going to be some travel problems. I'm just telling you now, the bridges, there's a whole lot of bridges in Mobile and Baldwin counties. That I-10 Bayway, great concern for icing problems there. And this is tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning could be a big mess in Mobile. And, of course, could there be snowflakes on the immediate Gulf Coast? I think there could. I really do. Gulf Shores and Pensacola. Don't know if it'll be accumulating snow, but I think you'll see some snow, and there could be some light accumulation there. That'll be fun to watch our Gulf Shores Skycam. But again, if you're traveling down there tomorrow night or Wednesday morning, travel problems, especially on bridges and overpasses, a very real, distinct probability, a likelihood. So be aware of that. I don't expect any travel problems up here. But as I always say, and I'll say it again, with any winter weather event, there will be surprises. There will be people that will be severely disappointed by the amount of snow they get down there. There will be others that will be absolutely delighted. And you'll just have to watch this whole thing unfold. And the problem with South Alabama events, we don't have a whole lot of analogs. There's not a lot of skill down here because you don't have a lot of events like this. But again, the confidence is relatively high. That is the general scenario. So there you go. All right. Let's go to Thursday. Now, Thursday morning is going to be cold. The low 10 to 15, but we start to warm up Thursday afternoon. A chance we'll see 40 as we dig out of the deep freeze. And Friday, chance we see 50. Moisture begins to increase, and this is Saturday as we start the weekend. And we also should note we begin the month of February on Saturday. And you can see how the pattern is relaxing. The amplitude is decreasing. Down below that, we have a moisture pool in place, but there's not a big trigger for rain. So Saturday looks like a mostly cloudy day. There could be a little light rain at times. I don't think it'll be widespread or heavy. High should be in the 50s, and this is Sunday. Thickness values are coming up, and by golly, we could see 60s in here on Sunday. And again, kind of like Saturday, cloudy with a chance of showers, but nothing heavy or not an all-day type rain, as there's not much dynamic support. And really the same thing on Monday. We stay in this moist pool. It's mild with highs in the 60s, a chance of showers, but probably nothing, no big washout or anything like that. However, the next day, this is Tuesday, the 4th of February, here comes some support, and all of a sudden, surface low is north of us around Cincinnati with a batch of storms moving in here. So the model suggesting maybe some strong storms. Hey, you go from snow to storms. That's the way it works around here. And then on the following day, we turn cold again on Wednesday, February the 5th, with a strong north wind, cold air advection. But again, I don't think February will be as cold as January. We'll check the end of the forecast. This is the 9th. That looks wet. And we do note a big old 1,070 millibar high. Could that be right? That's extreme. Over Alaska and British Columbia. Goodness. Wow. And then the 11th, zonal flow, cool but not excessively cold. All right, that's it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock today. If you can't catch us on ABC 3340 News this evening, on the live stream of the television side at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Weather Brains tonight as well. That's at 8:30 Central. Thanks for watching. Have a great Monday, and God bless.